So today we're actually going to go back in time and show you exactly step by step how we built this small little mining rig here. Very simple build, anybody could do this easily from home. Plus also at the end of the video we've got something very special to share with you guys, so make sure you stay on until the end. For now, let's go ahead and check out just how to build one of these. Mining rig. Now, before you think I'm some sort of super duper guru expert at this mining rig stuff, I really have not got a clue. Or at least I wouldn't say I don't have a clue, but I've never actually done it before. So what I've done is I've sourced all the pieces that you see here, and I'm going to stick links for those down below if you want a list of what you'll need to buy to build this type of rig we're building now. Plus also, if some of this stuff is old news to you, you already know what to do, you're only looking for a specific thing, then just scroll down below into the description and there'll be the little timer marks there. You can just basically skip ahead to whichever bit that you're looking for. So let's start off. We're going to start off with the platform to actually put it on, and we'll be putting the motherboard on right now. So what we'll be fitting on this particular rig is the Z270PD3, and the reason why I chose this one is it's a very simple build for possibly, well, definitely new guys like me, maybe new guys like yourself as well, and it's a very good hardy hardware in durable, ultra durable actually it says here, motherboard, and it allows 3 GPUs to be slotted straight into the actual motherboard itself. This means that you don't have to have the risers, which just adds more confusion and complications. It's great if you want to make a 6 or an 8 GPU mining rig, but it's just not necessary to get started. So what I've done here for the actual base, okay, is just basically got some wood, and I cut it lengths of 60 centimeters and screwed it together and then sprayed it grey. That's it, simple. And I've got a space here in the middle. Some people just bolt these down to flat pieces of wood, but I was thinking with the processor there, just for some added cooling, having an open air space underneath certainly isn't going to be bad. I'm using these little tap washers. These are 3/4 inch tap washers, just as spacers between the motherboard and the platform itself. And the reason being that there's going to be a bit of vibration, and I don't want to use like a metal washer. I know some people use like copper washers or something just to create that space, but for me I was thinking something rubber is probably going to be a better idea. Also, obviously copper's a conductor of electricity, rubber ain't, so you know, there's a lot of good reasons for that. Right, so all I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to screw this down. There's a few screw holes here that you can see, 1, 2, 3, and a couple up the top, and all I'm going to do is screw it down with a normal drill, just like this one, and that's it, simple. And that's it guys, simple as that. No need to screw it up too tight. I've just done that pretty loose, pretty much hand tight, because at the end of the day we're not going to be hanging a giraffe off it. It's just for holding the motherboard so it's not going to fall off. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to one of the most important parts, which is the processor. So this is really what's going to make the computer work. This is a very, very cheap processor. It's a G4400, so that's 4400, as I think Americans say. Anyway, it's super duper cheap. We're not going to be mining with the CPU, only the GPUs, so it really doesn't matter. So just go for the cheapest possible, and once you open the box, you'll find the main piece. Okay. Just open up the slot there, move it across, and all of the writing, which you'll see on the motherboard, you just have to make sure that it's all facing in the same direction as the CPU. So you can see there's some writing there on the CPU. That writing just has to be the same way up as the rest of the writing here on the on the motherboard. So then you just slot it in, drop it into place. You know when it's in, looks good. And just close that back up. It's there's not really an awful lot to it. Lesson learnt there. You've removed this plastic cover. Don't forget that. That's a newbie mistake. You don't need that. Just slot it in and then get yourself your Arctic Silver glue. And this basically just makes a very good seal between the fan and the processor. Now, there is already a little bit of gluey stuff on the processor, but apparently this stuff makes it extra super duper a good seal so that you're not going to run into any problems in the future. So just squeeze some of that on there. There we go. Just chuck it all on. Now the fan lead itself, when you're putting the fan on, I can see the CPU fan. It actually says on the motherboard where the slot is to actually plug the CPU fan in. So, okay, and you've got 4 holes around the CPU. You just plug these into each hole and then just push that whole thing down until you hear them all click. Link up the fan. Now, after watching me struggle with putting on the processor CPU here, you might be wondering why on earth you want to watch this video of some guy struggling to put this together. And the reason why is because if this is your first time, you've never actually done this before, then this is kind of a confidence builder for you. One, you get to learn extra tips like remove the plastic cover. Don't try sticking that in. Also, you know, you just gain some confidence. You know that I've clearly not done this before, and if I can do it, you can do it too. Now this is pretty decent ballistics RAM. This is 4 gig of RAM, and you've got the 4 RAM slots here in the front. All you need to do is basically ram it in. Now you can't really get it the wrong way. Now if I was going to push it here, now you can't really see this, but you've got a little slot in the middle, okay? And this slot, all it has to do is link up to the slot down below, and you just push down either end pretty hard, there we go, until the levers either side click in, and that, guys, is the RAM. Now here's the exciting bit. This is where we get to add the actual GPUs themselves. So for a start, I've got a Zotac here. This is a GeForce GTX 1070 Ti, so a pretty good one. And then the daddy of them all, this is the 1080. Again, it's a NVIDIA GTX. Now, the reason why I chose these two is I actually went onto the NiceHash website. They've got a little profitability calculator there, and all you need to do is basically play around with those and see which is the most profitable cards. You'll also be able to see in there the cards which are definitely not profitable, that you want to stay away from, don't bother mining with. Although I'm not personally using NiceHash to mine myself, it just gives you a good idea of what cards are profitable and what isn't. So these are dead simple to install. All you need to do, which one should we start with? Let's start with the big one. We'll stick that in the first slot here. Make sure you remove any of the plastic bits, not like on the old CPU, and then all you've got to do is basically slot it in, and let's see, what do we have to do here? Yeah, push those down, slot this in. Aha! Okay, so I have a little bit of a problem. This front bit here, where you have these 2 bits, it is just digging into the wood. So what I'm going to do is just bend this bit out and try again. Okay, so take 2. All I did actually is I just made this flush on the end there, so that these GPUs are going to get in a little bit easier. So again, all we need to do is line them up, push them in, There you go, you can hear the click. And then the Zotac, the 1070 Ti. Just load it up there. It's a bit hard to see exactly what you're doing, but you'll know when it's in right. There we go. So we got room for one more on the end, if we can fit it on. And that's it, guys. All we need to do now is stick in some power and stick the operating system on this here memory stick, chuck it in the front. No need for a hard drive with this sort of rig, and that's it. Easy peasy. Now, being honest, this is the really confusing part for me. I might have messed up some of the previous parts, but this is the part which really confuses me. This is the EVGA 850 P2. This is the, what do they call it? A platinum power supply. So it's very energy efficient. Some people say that these are the best ones to use because you're running it 24/7. It's going to cost you less on electric. Other people say it's just as good as the gold. It doesn't really make much difference. But I just thought I'd give it a go. It doesn't cost all that much more than a gold. So this is the actual power supply unit itself. What I'm going to do to secure, there's no sort of proper fixings you can find on here to secure it to the wood. So all I'm going to do is place it there for now. Later on I'll probably get some silicon just in a normal builder's gun. Just run a blob of silicon along there just to hold it securely in place, so it's not gonna move about too much. But it's heavy enough that you can move it about. It's not really gonna fall out anywhere. So anyway, it comes with a ton of stuff, tons of them, and you have to sort of look around on the motherboard and trying to work out which ones go where. You've got all the slots here on this side of the motherboard, and then the main power lead go into the plug socket there. So firstly, we're going to have a look at the connecting up the motherboard. And as you can see, they've got little knobs on the top. All you need to do is just basically click that into the one which says motherboard on it. Okay, so it makes it pretty easy for you. And as always, just give it a good old push until it clicks in properly. There we go. And this one here, can we just hide some of those wires under them? Okay, so that's it, guys. What we should do really is something to maybe tidy up these wires a bit. That'd be a good idea. And possibly something to secure the GPUs. They do wobble about quite a bit, but we'll see when it actually starts running how that performs. All we need to do now is get this flash drive and install the operating system on it, and I'll just give you a quick run through of what you need to do for that, and then we'll pop it in, power it up, and see if it works. And now for the technical bit. This is the flash drive. This is what's going to be running your operating system. It's technical, but it isn't that difficult. Okay, so what you need to do is install on this an operating system so that when the motherboard runs up, when you've powered it up, it runs everything off of this one flash drive. Now this is a 32 gig flash drive back in 2010 when I was in my first year in university. This is what laptop I had. I had a 32 gig laptop running Windows 7 or whatever it was. So it's more than capable to run Linux. And this is what we're going to use. What you need to do is head over to this website here. This is Graft. And Graft, what am I talking about? Okay, this is pendrivelinux.com. Okay, and on Pendrive Linux, what you want to do is look for this UUI installer, the Universal USB installer, and all you have to do is basically follow the easy steps right here. Once you've downloaded it, you basically click on the execute file. I didn't do it here on the Mac, I actually did it on my Windows laptop. So you just choose Ubuntu, and then you click a little checkbox here to download Ubuntu, and once it's in your downloads folder, you just click to browse. It goes to your downloads folder, that goes in there. You select the USB stick drive, whatever drive you've put it in your laptop, and check a checkbox to erase everything that's on there and format the flash drive. Click create and off it goes. There you go. You start formatting and installing Linux Ubuntu on your flash drive. From there, what you need to do is head over to Graft. What's this? That's not the right one. Here we go. Graft.network. This is the main Graft website. And just scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll find the Miner's Guide. Click on that. And here you'll see installing CUDA NVIDIA Miner on Ubuntu server. So as you can see, scrolling down here, there are quite a few steps to take, and you've just got to go through it one piece at a time, and gradually you'll get there. But once it's all installed, you should have a working mining rig. I have no idea right now if this is actually done and whether or not it's going to work. So what we're going to do is just head back over to the miner now and see if it's all working. To be honest, it just wasn't actually that straightforward. As you can see here, we've now got a different coloured memory stick. I'm now using the blue one. Not that there's anything wrong with the orange one, but just I had to switch between different installations of Linux and try a bunch of different things, and eventually 4 days later ended up calling in a friend of mine who's a bit of an expert with Linux, and he helped out just to get the CCMiner up and running. And then we found out that CCMiner is actually running on the old version of Kryptonite, so that because Monero and a few other coins like Graft, they didn't want to be, or they wanted to be Asic resistant, so that you could only mine it using GPUs, CPUs, etc. They came away from the old system, and now you mine it on Kryptonite 7. So basically, CCMiner no longer works for mining Graft. So we used XMR-Stak instead, and he helped put that together with all the dependencies, and that's really where we was having some problems with the dependencies. And but anyway, now that we've got all that done, it's all up and running. So this has been running now for 7 days. It's been on for 7 days, so let's just take a look and see how much Graft we've actually made. So this is where we started about a week ago. You can see this long period where pretty much nothing was happening at all on the Graft pool. This is because we weren't mining, we were just pulling our hair out trying to work out, or at least I was trying to work out how to run this CCMiner, only to find out that you couldn't. Anyway, so what we got at the top, you've got the totals. This is what I mined on my previous video where I was mining Graft on my laptop. So we'll just ignore that. One thing to bear in mind is the hash rate. If you have a look at the hash rate when we started mining, we're doing about 1,000 hashes per second. And as we go forward to today, that hash rate is about 1.3. Now this is not normal. So we got a 1080 and a 1070 Ti. Each of these GPUs should be mining about that much. So we're only mining about 50% of the full capacity that these things can actually do. So I've got my man Nathan. He's going to come around at the weekend, have a look, see if they're stuck in some sort of eco mode, trying to save energy or something. They're only running at 50%. Maybe overclock them, get them on afterburner or whatever it is for Linux. So when we have a look at the figures, this is what I'm saying. When we have a look at the figures and the profits, bear in mind that this is 50%. Anyway, so here we are. We've been paid out into the wallet, 523 Graft, and also 51 waiting to be paid out. So, what's the numbers? Here we go. It was 419 Graft mined in the last week. The current value, $7.93. As I say, you got to bear in mind this is 50%, so that should be double that. The cost of the electricity to run it was $6.86, meaning a profit of $1 in a week. Now, obviously, not great, and Graft is, you know, quite a low down coin at the moment. Would have been better to mine Ethereum, maybe Monero, and obviously have your GPUs overclocked and running at full capacity. But let's say, for instance, if Graft had a market cap of $100 billion, we'd have made $1,400 worth of Graft. Now I know what you're saying. Why on earth would I come up with a ridiculous figure like $100 billion? So let's take a look at Graft and what Graft actually is. You can see here that it's a payment platform, so that it's a point of sale in shops where people can pay with Graft, Monero, Bitcoin, any kind of cryptocurrency or fiat currency, and actually pay it in a shop like McDonald's or Burger King, KFC, wherever it is, where they've got these Verifone payment terminals, right? So Graft has already done a deal with Verifone, they're in partnership with them, and they've created these payment terminals ready to go into shops and start taking payments in cryptocurrencies. This I see kind of like what PayPal did in reverse. So back in the day, bricks and mortar shops, they were fine taking payments in the shop, but when it comes to online payments, although many of them already had websites, they were struggling to find some sort of easy way to take payments online. And it's the reverse with cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is easy enough. If you've got an online shop, you can find some sort of way to take blockchain payments on your website. But in a brick and mortar shop, how on earth are you going to take Bitcoin payments or anything else? What Graft do is actually bring the blockchain payment system into an easy to use point of sale device in the shop. It's fantastic. But if you have a look at their latest blog post, so here it is, this is from June 28th, and is the latest development update. Scroll all the way down, we'll see that one, they've got the near field communication system. This is the old, if you've got a card, just tap on it and go, anything under $30. And they've also, we've just finished the design and now ready to start implementation of the payment gateway, which will facilitate Graft payments on online shopping platforms. So not only is this going to be a in the shop point of sale device, but also just like PayPal, it will be able to be used online for shops selling stuff, right? So since this is the fintech industry, since it's in the same sort of market as PayPal, to be fair, we'll just take a look at the market cap of PayPal so we've got some understanding of where the potential, now I'm not Nostradamus, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is the potential, this is what the market is worth in this industry. So we have a look at the market cap of PayPal, and as you can see, this is PayPal Holdings Inc. The market cap is $100 billion. So if Graft was to become the next PayPal, maybe even bigger than PayPal because it's also a point of sale in the shops, $100 billion is not off the table. It is possible. So I actually become aware of Graft about 2 months ago through our algorithm here on Moocharoo Ninja. Basically what we did here for this whale fuel module in the masters area was we made an algorithm to search through all of these coins on CoinMarketCap. Now I know a lot of people always say do your own research, read all these white papers and whatnot, but there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these coins here on CoinMarketCap. Well, we've got 1,620 coins on CoinMarketCap. Ain't nobody got time to read 1,600 white papers, right? So there's no way you can do it. We created an algorithm, we've done a video on it, and you can see that here. We've done 2 videos on it. One was the initial one, second one was some of the results when one of the coins we picked from the algorithm done over 1,000% in about 2 weeks. It was crazy. And basically everybody which joins the Masters, I know I have made considerably more than the cost of actual joining just from that whale fuel module alone. It's done great, and Graft was one of the first coins that we found using the algorithm, and as I'm sure you'd agree, it is a very solid coin. And it's not the only solid project which has turned up on the algorithm. At the beginning of the year I found a lot of really good projects, and I started investing in those, buying some of those coins, and when we made the algorithm, to buy up enough coins of some of these projects to make say $1 million if the market caps were 4 billion at the time. To buy enough of those, we would have needed to invest maybe sort of $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 just a couple of months ago when we wrote this algorithm, right? But just in the last couple of weeks, as the price of Bitcoin's been coming down and all the cryptos have been getting pulled down with it, These actually turned up on the algorithm. We run it every single Sunday. We had 3 new coins to the list for everybody. And these coins came up, I couldn't believe it. They were just a couple of $100. So it really does turn up some real gems every week. Well worth it. Now, this is the Masters area of the website. And obviously you have to be a member. Membership's free, but for Masters you have to upgrade. There is a one-time only payment for that. And down here we're going to be having both Satoshi's Mines and the Blockbuster Cryptos. So the Blockbuster Cryptos is from our previous video, the one just before this, where we were looking at the periodic table of cryptocurrencies. I posted here, and we took all these 118 currencies and we looked at what the prices were on these at the beginning of the year on the 1st of January and what the prices were today. Basically put them into one big list showing the biggest gainers and the biggest losers, so you can see which ones have lost the most. Maybe take a look at those and work out, should they really be there? Are they undervalued? Why have they lost so much? And do the same with obviously the winners. And of course Satoshi's Mines, that will be coming in here as well sometime over the next week or two. And this is where you guys come in. So if you have always wanted to get involved in a bit of mining, but you possibly don't want to go through all of this hassle that we've been through, and possibly you don't actually have enough cash to invest in quite everything here, you know, just to get started, then what we're going to offer is something called Satoshi's Mines over on Moocharoo Ninja, where it's going to be a new model. It's not on there right now, but you'll be able to go there and basically just throw in whatever you got, say maybe $100, $200 for a share in the profits each month from the actual mining rig. Now this one, because it's NVIDIA GPUs, and what we've heard is that these for a start, as I might have mentioned already, they're not running at full capacity, so they're only actually running at about 50% capacity. We need to sort that out this weekend, and also maybe have a look at overclocking them as well, so that'd be cool. But NVIDIA aren't particularly good for mining kryptonite coins, so what we're going to do is actually use this rig for mining Ethereum. And if you have a look on the rig here, we might have mentioned this before, there is actually 3 PCI slots in here that we can just connect some risers to, and then add in 3 more GPUs, and those GPUs can be yours. Okay, so this is where you guys, as I said, this is where you guys are going to come in. But it doesn't end there. We also have one of these ready to go. And what this is another motherboard. This one comes complete with 1 GPU slot ready to go, and then 5 new PCIe slots ready to just connect some risers to and put some more AMD, this time AMD GPUs in. And we're probably going to be mining Monero, although we may even mine Graft, we're not too sure. But what we do want up and running is basically 3 mining rigs. 1 for Graft, 1 for Monero, and 1 for Ethereum. Now, if you get involved with Satoshi's Mines and want to invest some on a 12-year contract to actually earn yourself some coins each week, all you need to do, quite simply, is head over to our website, Moocharoo Ninja. If you're not already, just become a member. Click the link up there, become a free member. But to access these Satoshi's Mines, you'll obviously need to upgrade to Masters. Come along to this page, and there'll be a link for that below. But basically, all you'd have to do is just click the Masters tab, and you'll get taken through this page. And you'll see currently the price is £69. Now, by the time that all of these different features come about, we've got lots coming out over the next few months, so probably sometime in August time this year, this price will probably be going up to somewhere around the sort of £95 mark. But currently it's just £69 for lifetime access. Now, there's people out there selling similar plans for things like $495 per month, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. We try and keep it as cheap as we possibly can so that everybody can actually get involved, and cryptocurrency is supposed to be this great leveler for everybody to come in and make some decent money and change their lives. So I think for me, we like to keep it cheap, we like to keep it affordable for all people around the world. So £69 is a one-time payment, it's not a monthly, it's just one-time payment, and you have unlimited access for life. With that, you can either pay up here with PayPal or come down, pay with coin payments to pay with Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever you like. and that's it. You also will be getting one of these periodic tables of cryptocurrencies sent out to you in the post, along with the Bitcoin multiplier method, which is a very low risk strategy. I actually wrote this, it's just a very short book. I wrote that while on a flight to Manila. Once you've got access to the masters area, just simply come over to the masters, and below here sometime, obviously it's not there right now, but over the next week or so, this should get added in to the bottom here, and you'll be able to go on and invest whatever it is that you want. We'll probably put it in batches of $100, so either 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever it is that you want to invest. And when it comes to getting money out, basically what you can do is you'll have the choice to either put it into your Bitcoin account over here on the account page, so you can get paid out in Bitcoin, or just get paid out in whatever it is that we're mining each week. So if it's paid out into your Bitcoin account, you can draw it out whenever you choose, providing you've got at least $50 worth in there. But if you want to get paid out in Graft or Monero or whatever it is being mined, you'll just get paid out every single week to your wallet, whether it's a Graft wallet, Monero wallet. You get the picture, right? So that's how it's going to work. And if you think that's a cool idea, if you like that, please let us know. It'll give us some incentive to get it done as quickly as possible. If you don't like it, if you think it's absolute rubbish, please tell us, and we'll just won't waste our time making that, okay? So feedback is very much appreciated, and I hope that it's going to be good. I hope that you guys are going to like it and get in touch with us soon. And that's it, guys. That is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. If nothing else, if you do create a mining video, if you do create a mining rig of your own, please remember, do remove the plastic cover from the CPU.